At saka hottest game right here in the Philippines na talaga naman papakamahal, mamamahalin ng mga Pilipino. Kasi sino bang ayaw ng basketball, di ba? Paborito natin ang basketball. Paborito niyo ba ang basketball also? Okay pa kayo? Nakakain pa kayo? Kailangan energy tayo ngayong hapong ito dahil medyo energetic talaga itong game natin, di ba? That it's about basketball, of course, the sport that we love as Filipinos. And right about now, we're gonna be calling, before I go there, ako nga, welcome muna sa inyo. Siyempre, mga friends natin from the press, our blogger friends, and at the same time, our dear gamers. And as you can see, apart from the food that you enjoyed right there are a couple of activities that you guys could try as well this afternoon. This one is working, okay? This contraption. So right after the program, you could, do some hoops over there and probably right over there. So we have phones for you guys to tinker on, so you could already experience the game that is Barangay 143. And at the same time, don't forget to capture the memento of you guys being right here and joining us for the press launch of Barangay 143 by the photo booth. And let us find out first who are the movers, the brains behind this project. Let us find out the makers of Barangay 143, starting with our special projects manager. Palakpakan naman natin si Mr. Josh Bautista. Sir Josh, come on over. Are you going to be joining us already? Yes, no? You're going to be happy, Sir Josh. Ayan, mahihain pa Sir Josh. Pero alam ko, talagang mataba ang utak ni Sir Josh. Because he's going to be lending us or giving us some words later on about the project. And of course, let me call on also the head of production, Sir Jomar Albino. Hi, Sir Jomar. Magandang hapon. Alright, we're going to be calling also the Senior Manager for Business Development, Mr. Micah Rivero. Nice name, right? It's not just Mike, it's Micah. And completing our panel for this afternoon, we have the Managing Director and Co-Founder of Synergy88, which is bringing us, of course, this brand new game. How about a big hand for Miss Jacqueline Chua? Napakaganda naman Miss Jacqueline. Kumbaga sa liga, parang siya yung muse. Siya na yung siya pa yung Hermana Mayor. Kasi siya nag-fund the project. Of course, these are the people who we're going to be talking with in a very short while. But in the meantime, of course, we are here this afternoon because Synergy88 is with us, which is one of the leading digital technology solutions company in the Philippines. With its world-class technology amplified by its well-rounded creatives, it was able to revolutionize the digital industry locally by launching the newest and advanced game apps that are integrated with sharp animations and artworks. So we are pleased to introduce to you this afternoon our dear press, bloggers, and gamers, another innovative and groundbreaking applications in the market, once again, that we call the Barangay 143. Let us all watch this.
Ako si Joaquin Wax Rivera. Pangarap kong maging katulad ng tatay ko. Si Jack Rivera. Basketball legend at ngayon, commissioner ng isa sa pinakamalaking basketball league ng bansa, ang FIBA. Akala ko sapat na mga natutunan ko sa mga basketball clinics. Pero nang maglaro ako sa barangay,
okay lang yan. Sa lahat ng laban, may nananalo at natatalo.
Coach B, nandito ka pala?
Kanina pa nga ako nanonood At mahusay ka. Isa lang ang kulang sa'yo.
Ano po yun, Coach?
Puso! At ang mga basketball masters sa Barangay 143 ang makapagturo sa'yo niyan.
na naglalaro ka ng basketball o fan ka lang ng basketball, mukhang may excite ka, download mo ito because you want to find out more about Barangay 143. Syempre, before I open the floor, as you can see, there are microphones already on your tables. That means we're going to be ready for your questions. I'm going to be asking first Miss Jacqueline Chua, to help us out. I mean, tell us a little bit more about the vision of Synergy88 as a company, and at the same time, probably tell us about the inspiration behind Barangay 143 Street League. Hi, Miss Jackie.
Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat at dumalo kayo dito sa aming press launch. Sa Synergy, we try our best to always be innovative with the products that we come out. And we always want to be different. So, like for instance, Barangay Street League is actually, it's a very unique app. It's inspired by the show that we're producing, an anime show that will be launching next year. So this game is actually a prequel to the anime show. So this is the first of its kind in the Philippines, and we'll be having a lot of unique features that we will be adding slowly in the game every month. So if you think about Synergy, it's innovation. That's what I can say.
All right, so it's innovation. Okay, now I'm opening the floor already for your questions. Ako personally, I'm so excited about this kasi parang kuwang-kuwa niya, di ba? Yung ginagamit natin pag lumalaban tayo outside the country bilang basketball team, di ba? Puso. Kung mga na-mention yun doon, di ba? At saka kung mga Pilipino doon talaga nagsimula sa kanilang mga baryo, sa kanilang mga barangay. It just so happens in this game, we have a barangay that is very unique, Barangay 143. Which is about puso, love, 143, I love you. Tama ba?
This is a very Pinoy thing.
Yeah.
When we launched the show in Cannes last week, we launched the Barangay 143 IP. They were very impressed that we have this. What's this thing going on now? So sabi ko, well, 143 means I love you.
Yes, for sure.
So that's very Pinoy, right? And very unique. So, ayun.
Makikilala natin ang mga Lodi at Pet Balloon ng Barangay 140, gaya nga ni Wax. Diba? So, I'm opening the floor already for your questions. Okay, we have one. Hi, of course, give me your name first and where you're coming from. And then go drop the question and you can pick from who among our panelists are going to be answering your question. Hi, what's your name? Yes, have at it. Josh. Yeah, it's on.
Good afternoon, my name is Gus from ClickData.com. So, why did you choose basketball among all other sports?
Sir Micah, have at it.
Basically, tatlo lang yung factors na nagmamatter sa Pilipino ngayon. Ito yung madalas matigil ang traffic, matigil yung sa Pilipinas, nagkakaroon ng ceasefire. Beauty pageant, boxing, and basketball. So, yung tatlong factors na yun, totally connected sa Pilipino talaga. Pero primarily yung basketball kasi pinaka-malaki doon dahil na tuloy-tuloy yung season niya, hindi gaya ng beauty pageant, one time lang, or yung boxing. Pero yung basketball talaga, tulad ng sinabi iba, may UAB, may PBA, pati yung sa ibang bansa. So,
tsaka yung mga liga sa mga barangay.
Yes, yung mga barangay, kahit hindi formal yung labanan, kahit soft drinks lang. So, konektado talaga.
Yun, kaya basketball. So baka later, sir, yes, there's a follow-up question.
Yun nga, kahit nasa kalsada,
Yun.
may makikita ang mga bata naglalaro ng basketball. Kahit na yung kawalan nila, sarili nila, kahit hindi sila naka-full gear na basketball outfit. Tapos sometimes you can see people having this mannerism anywhere. May ugad gumagano.
Again, tatapon ng basura, di ba?
O, diba? Pag nagtatapon tayo ng basura, parang as if nasa NBA tayo.
Yes, magano pa.
Oo. Diba? So, yeah, it's reflective of the very Pinoy culture.
Pinoy na Pinoy. Yes, sir.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes, have at it.
Who is your target market?
Target market. Sir Micah.
Yeah. So initially, target namin dati ang mga PPP hardcore gamers. Pero we realize na we need to make it broader. We need to make it more universal. So we refrain from targeting specific genders, specific age, kasi we want to aim the global market. So as long as any country na ina-acknowledge yung basketball as part of their culture, makikilala siya. So global talaga market natin.
Aside from the basketball fans, yung isa rin market namin is anime, the anime fan. So, because I think that's another thing that the Philippines is very known for.
Tapos parang meron ako naalala, madam, na parang basketball show before na parang naalala ko to pero wow, mas Pinoy ito. So,
Pinoy to.
anime fan niya, tama.
Yes, so tsaka wala pa kasing ganyan na lahat ng mga anime shows that we're watching, it's dubbed. And it's all about the Japanese life, di ba? Pero ngayon, it's all about our lives.
Yes.
Can you reveal the name of the anime?
It's also Barangay 143.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have another question at the back. Thank you, sir, for your question.
Hello, this is Vincent Houson from thegeeks.com.
Vincent.
Since you mentioned already about the anime, can you release more details? Like, where will it be released? Will it be shown locally or internationally? Since you mentioned nga po na magiging global yung market, not just for the game, but also, I'm assuming pati yung anime na rin yung nalabas po ninyo. So, is it also produced locally by Filipino talent lang ba? So,
Yes. The pre-production, actually the IP, Barangay 143, is a partnership with TV Asahi of Japan and August Media of Singapore. So, tatlong bansa ang nagtulong-tulong para mabuo itong IP na to. But it's predominantly by the Filipinos. So, yung pre-production natin, we did some parts in Japan so we can try to catch that authentic anime feel. Although I'm not saying this is 100% anime. Look to those who are really into anime, but it's like Animesh.
Animesh. Yeah, I love it.
Before they called it fusion, that's Animesh. So, so yun, I would say that 80% naman is done by here, locally, by Philippines. So you'll be very proud once you play the game and once you watch the show. You'll see how talented the Filipinos are. And it's really, when we're outside the market, what's nice is that the international audience, they really notice that the creative things that we do in the Philippines is very special. So,
All right, let me do a follow-up because I think we weren't able to answer a couple of the questions. The second,
about the distribution.
yeah, about the distribution.
Yeah, we can't surprise na lang in a
Sir.
few months. We'll tell you which network it will be shown.
Oh, it's a network, so it must be big.
Yes. And of course, this is meant to be distributed globally. So,
Nice.
So another question, but this is more for the game itself. Since from the trailer, yung pinapakita niyo is puro shooting, and you mentioned specifically that every month magkakaroon ng added features sa game. So what can people expect? What kind of features will be presented? Kung meron ba kayong pwedeng i-release or kung may
Yes, Sir Jomar na makakasagot niyan.
Yes, with the game, since you mentioned that it's more of shooting, right now we're only on one division. So moving forward, we expect sa mga updates natin more divisions, which means more characters, more skills, and more story. Because part of the Barangay 143 Street League is the webcomics, which tells the story of Wax when he was starting sa barangay level.
That's gonna be in the app also? Oh,
It's
awesome.
gonna be on the app, but it's gonna be, the link will be on the app. But once you click on it, it will bring up the web
Nice.
browser
Awesome.
website.
There you go. Kumbaga, if-follow mo rin siya eh. You're not just gonna be stuck in the game. Gusto mo siyang ulit-ulitin pa at syempre sundan kasi nga may sinusundan ka rin istorya. Alright. Anybody? Oh, yes.
Sorry, medyo nakagot yung question. Since you mentioned na more stories, dun sa anime naman, if you're willing to release it, what part na ng storyline niya yung sa start nung sa ano, since you mentioned nga this is a prequel.
Yes.
Barangay 143 the game is a prequel. So can you share to us which part, kung as in expert na ba siya dun sa anime or ayun, which part of his story are we expecting to see?
Yun. Kumbaga kasi nga, yun, kumbaga ito, bago dun sa mismong papalabas natin kung saan bang network, di ba? Ano daw yung na-capture na storya? Ano yung represent na dito?
So the game's story is a prequel which happened like 5 years before the anime. So this is when Wax was starting on the barangay level because like pinakita kanina sa teaser, his dad was a well-known basketball player and during his practices in basketball clinics, gumaling din siya. But he eventually found out na iba yung laro sa street level, sa barangay level because people were more physical, so he struggled. And his dad told him that for me, I was trained to be better when I started playing in the barangay level. So that's what motivated Wax to start playing on Barangay 143.
Alright, did that answer your question?
Last na, sorry.
Alright.
Sorry,
I like it. I love the enthusiasm.
may ETA kayo for the anime to be released?
Ayan.
Or at least general range?
Yun. Ito ba yung mangyayari this year?
Summer next year.
Okay. There you go. Getting closer. Alright, thank you so much. Okay, we have another question here from this lady. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Noe from Girls Got Game. I really love the aesthetic of the game, actually. And you mentioned earlier that 80% of the production really is Pinoy-driven. And what I wanted to ask was that in terms of aesthetic, you mentioned animesh, but what do you think is the biggest pull of the game on the aesthetic end that will make it break into the global market?
Well, we're aiming more actually towards anime, but of course it's not going to be purely anime. There's some Western style art that we'd like to integrate, not only in terms of art, but also in the manner of storytelling. So we're trying to mash the two worlds together to come up with something that's truly unique. And it did actually gain a lot of attention internationally at the MIPCOM conference last week.
Oh, there you go. So, did that answer your question? Alright. Any more questions? Ito sa mga mas masarap kumain sa harapan. Ma'am, how about you? Do you have any question?
Right now, di ba sa Google Play lang siya, meron bang possible to set up sa iba pang sa Apple Store or in the future?
Next question.
Yes, so currently it's out on Google Play Store and we should expect an iOS version within a couple of weeks. We're really targeting the mobile market, so it's going to be Play Store and Apple App Store.
There you go. Exciting. Oo nga, naisip ko tuloy, iPhone ako, paano ko mata-download to? Excited now. But this is available already on Google Play. Alright, and it's for free, I suppose.
Yes.
There you go. Hi. I'll go there. Oh, there you go. What's your name and give us an idea where you're coming from.
Hello?
Is it working?
It's not.
Hello?
There.
There it goes. My name is Angela, so I'm from lovedjangel.com. So what I will ask is this: is it how do you going to make it more interactive with kids? Because most of the time, this will one of the major yung major players niyo will be kids, right? So how are you going to make it more interactive with kids with less of the games but more on the interaction? Because I believe you're kind of promoting basketball as well. So how are you going to promote this sport also in way of this game through kids, sa mga kids ngayon?
There you go. So, game level dun sa app mismo.
Yeah, the game level.
How to make it more interactive to kids.
Yeah, so in terms of interacting with kids, we really designed this game to be as simple as possible. That's one of the major factors why we decided to have a simple shooting swipe up mechanic so that even casual gamers would be able to play the game.
Yeah.
And through the story that we're telling, we teach values also
Yes.
to the kids. And sports really tells us or teaches us a lot of values. And through those values, or through the sport of basketball, we wanted to educate our kids what they can learn from the sport. And eventually that would motivate them to start playing the game, to be interested, and start going to clinics, play in their local barangays. And through the game also, interaction, one of our targets in our roadmap is to build on or focus on the social features that we plan for the game. So our local market in the Philippines is very big on like clan systems, Facebook friends. So that's one of the targets we're targeting in the future.
So
All right.
follow up to that. So since this is an interactive game, I believe so that there will be a point system or the point system wherein they're going to be upgraded to different levels, right? So my question is there rewards or perks for these people who were like, for example, they're going to have 1,000 points already? Is there a reward from them that they're going to get from you also?
Oh.
Yeah. Right now, currently our core gameplay mechanic is each player participates in a daily tournament. And the more you score your points, the more medals you earn. And these medals are our basis for the ranking. Every time you rank higher, you gain more trophies, which basically gives you the progression to the other divisions. In the future, we're targeting to reward our players or to conduct promos that would reward our players with real items such as loads, cell phones, a lot of things, and even Barangay 140 merchandises.
For sure.
Those we want to encourage our players and to play the game and to rank higher so that at the same time they would by playing the game they would be able to get real items in return.
Pwede.
I'd like to add to
Yes.
what Jomar said. What we're hoping to achieve is parang bring that arcade experience
Yes.
right in your phones. So it's like you can play anytime you want. You can earn points anytime you want. Kahit sarado na yung mall, nakakapag-arcade ka pa rin with your mobile phones.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that arcade experience to your homes. So, tsaka actually mas tipid for parents.
For sure. Oh, kasi usually parents they make the games a digital nanny, you know. Okay, sige, laro ka dyan. shoot. Yes, sir. We have another question over there from the lady with the nice hair.
Hello, sorry.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Louis from omglouis.com. Actually, this is more a generic question for Synergy88. Are you planning to create games that are targeted more towards females? Because this is basketball, it's very female-centric. Male-centric, I mean. And I assume with ang Panday, your target is also males or younger kids. And so is there anything in the pipeline that we can be excited about, that we can share about, games specifically for girls like me? I mean, obviously we're going to be playing these games as well, but it's also nice to hear news about that. So that's just my question.
Is there anything cooking for this beautiful lady? Sir Josh?
Okay. So for this, for Barangay, we will be having female characters. And you'll be surprised, this girl is strong. She's a very strong character. So lalabas yan sa updates. Okay. And then, if you're talking about Synergy as a whole, yes, we do have other games and apps that's coming out for, of course, for the girls. And Micah and Josh would like to talk about it.
All right.
Okay, we have this game called Beats and Cat. it's actually a game based on the famous Vincent Cat in social media.
Vincent,
Also, the one that came from the film also. It's actually in the universe of the Vincent Cat film.
Vince and Cap, the movie.
It was, we got our blessings from Star Cinema to
Nice.
this film. And actually, we initially released one book last year just to test the market. And it became the #1 free app in the global market.
Oh, nice.
So, right now, we're populating it with, we're targeting 55 books. It's gonna be pretty exciting. There's gonna be a lot of twists in there that you haven't seen in the movie. So there's gonna be the first product that we're gonna release is more on the Tagalog version. But eventually we're gonna localize it in other languages.
Oh, cool. So Vince, Cap, and James, the movie?
Yes.
Vince, Cap, and James. All right.
So in addition to that, we're also actually in the very early stages of creating visual novels. Because as you know, visual novels are predominantly female market. So we're also aware that most of our games currently target either a mixed or a predominantly male market. So we also want to dip our fingers into the predominantly female market, which is one of them is the visual novel market.
All right. So no games so far, but for sure visual novels are going to be there coming up.
Nothing concrete yet, but we're sure we want to target that.
There you go. At least there's something for you gals out there. All right. Any more questions for all our bloggers and friends from the press? Oh, there you go. It always come back to you, anyways.
Last one, will you be also doing other offline activities? Since this is Barangay 143 is a basketball game, will we be expecting, let's say, for example, Barangay 143 basketball tournaments or mga basketball clinics in the future?
Tunay na paliga.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we just sponsored the Basketball League of MMDA. It's called MMSF. It's still ongoing now. I think the championship is on November. So we're partners with the government in promoting sports. So if you check out our Facebook page, you'll see like almost every day we have winners for those who play their best in that game. Tapos meron silang Barangay 143 reward. So yun, that's like our CSR for the company. We want to promote sports.
Pwede. Kaya pala may police doon, ha? Kasi pwede yung manalo sa liga, maging character ng bagong season or sa update ng Barangay 143, di ba? Pakita mo yung sarili mo, nasa Barangay 143, kaya sumali ka na ng liga, bro. Any other questions from the crowd? From this side, parang medyo tahimik tayo sa Sir Lang nag-represent. Oh. Meron pa ba? Ay, ayun. Kunyari dito ka galing. Lumipat ka lang dyan. Hi!
I'm Jason, Tech Motorsport.
Alright.
Just want to ask how much it costs and how many downloads are you targeting for the next couple of months?
How much does it cost to download, you mean?
Yes.
It's free, right?
The cost to download is zero because it's free. You can download the app without paying anything. In terms of the target of downloads, we're targeting 100,000 for the first 2 months, and then eventually hitting the million mark for within the next 6 months.
There you go. Well, it sounds very achievable naman. It's a promising game. Anybody else? Oh, there you go. They're active now. Hi.
I'm Jonathan from Quezon, Manila. Last year you released Barangay Basketball. Then you, this year, Barangay 140. Ano yung pinagkaiba nila?
Ayun pala. May app na before na Barangay Basketball naman.
Yeah. So Barangay Basketball was released last year, aiming to tell the story of Wax also. The gameplay is a little bit different because it's a lot of training from the masters. Eventually, we released it on beta stage so that we could get feedback from the players. What we got is the file size really hurt the app. because it was like at around 150 to 180 MB, which kind of made it hard for our players to play it. Another key feedback we also got is local players here really wants PvP and the social mechanics. Whereas compared to Barangay Basketball, the first design, it was more of individualistic. Here we want to engage more on competitive gameplay since it's a basketball game anyway, and also to build on the social features as mentioned. So, and plus our file size right now is around 60 MB, so we really targeted it towards the local market, redesigned it for our players and the casual players to play.
So it's lighter and more social. Pinoy na Pinoy kasi nga medyo minsan mahirap pang kumunik sa internet dito. So pasok ang Barangay 143. Alright, sir, yes.
Hi, it's me again, Gus. I've noticed the main character, the one in red. It looks like there's a similarity with the character Rukawa. Is there any possibility that it's connected to that anime?
I believe there's no relevance. I mean, we can see the similarities, but it was not. He was not conceptualized from. It wasn't inspired.
Nagkataon lang, bro. Para wala silang pogi.
Mas pogi pa si Wax.
Magkaka-sponsors daw siya, sisikat sa Pilipinas.
To add on that, actually, since the game story is a prequel and happened 5 years ago. Yung itsura ni Wax here is like he was 14 years old. And by the time in the anime, he's not gonna look like that. So
Kasi
he's
nga,
gonna
plus
be more
5 years.
mature and more.
Hindi ba nakikita mas kamahawin ni Sir Jomar? No? Mata. Alright, hi. Oh! Ikaw na promoronda ka
To the lighter note, what are the activities that you have for future, or do you have any plans to expand this since you're starting? This is the second part, right? So you have the Barangay Basketball and this Barangay 140. So do you have any plans to expand or to create more games which are interactive, the same as this one?
Just to clarify, are you referring to just the game or for Synergy?
Yeah.
For
There you
Synergy.
go.
So, right now we're focused on developing this app and continuously improving it. Our plans for expansion include releasing a game that will be out on the international market or in Steam or a PC game. So we're slowly dipping our hands to different platforms. If you get a chance to visit our booth, we have a VR demo there. We have a PC demo, PC game demo. So different platforms, we're trying to develop them and trying to explore each platform carefully and eventually release or target a game that will be released on each targeted platform.
How about basketball activities? Or basketball clinics or paliga? Yun nga, yung sinabi nga for a while ago. So, do you have any plans to sponsor a liga or a basketball competition to promote this game as well? Do you have any plans?
Yes.
Yeah, paliga yung kanina I mentioned yung with MMPA, yung MMSF. That's one of the paliga that we participated. So we just started, but we have more plans of joining other basketball clinics. We're still in talks with the other partners right now. So we'll continuously do that kasi we still have a show coming out next year.
There you go. Don't worry. So it seems like our crowd is very, very excited of what's going to be happening, unfolding. So we're talking about the game now, but we are already having a couple of questions about the ligas, diba? What other games we're going to be developing. So before I move on, probably I'll be asking for a couple more. Meron pa. Okay, sige. Ubusin natin lahat ng tanong nyo while our developers are right here.
Hi, yeah. So you mentioned earlier that there is a character that is female who will be released in the game, which I'm actually I'm actually happy to hear because I'm a girl and I was also an athlete way back in the day. What prompted the decision? Because usually, as you mentioned, the target market is skewed to guy players, male players, but it's refreshing to hear and heartening to hear that you guys will be including a girl. So what prompted that decision?
Yeah.
Well, for one, I'm a girl. So dapat
The bosses.
Pwede ba yun na walang girl? Diba? So, tsaka nowadays, syempre yung mga girls, hindi na yan yung girl ng dati.
Yes.
Iba na mga girls ngayon. So, what we're trying to show, if boys can play basketball, we can play basketball too, right? So, and we can do a lot of stuff. So, yung character ng female character dito is very strong. And it's really part of the story kasi this IP is not only about basketball, it's actually about family life. It's about love, friendship, fatherhood, relationship with your parents, sharing moral values. That's very Filipino. Like you will see even in our webcomics or motion comics in the future, you'll see words like po and opos will be used, respect for the elders. You'll still see all of those. So those are things that we still want to be fundamentally in part of the game, our culture, our Filipino culture.
Awesome. Pero Pinoy na Pinoy. Yes, okay.
I think this is working.
Hey.
Yesterday I was actually sitting in and Sir Josh had a really good a really good answer when we asked about the visibility of Filipinos and the way that you guys are unapologetic about pushing Filipino culture to the global stage. So I can see that that's coming out in the way that you talk about our values and reflecting our culture in your games. Is that one of the core values of Synergy88?
Yes, and proudly I'd like to say yes.
There you go. All right, sir.
Hi, congratulations. I'm not a gamer, pero I'm so impressed. Okay, I'm Eric John Salute. Kasi napag-usapan rin lang naman, nakakakuha kayo ng malalaking accounts. Gusto ko lang malaman yung background ng Synergy88. How long have you been into the gaming business? Tapos you have the best people na nasasagot lahat ng tanong namin. Interesting.
Siyempre. Magaling, magaling.
You know, when we nag-umpisa yung Synergy 4 years ago, ang pinaka-goal talaga is to produce our own IP. It's not really to be an outsourced studio. So we, my partners and I, we feel it's about time that us as Filipinos should do something. Because like, for instance, in the animation industry, the Philippines has been known for great animation work.
Yes.
Like the things you watch in Cartoon Network, Disney, things like that. Those are done. A lot are done in the Philippines. Substantial volume is done in the Philippines. And those are award-winning shows. So, parang, as kami nun, as we attend all these conferences, parang we're thinking, teka, parang dapat tayo yun.
Yeah.
So, medyo lumabas yung angas namin na parang sandali.
Pinoy pride.
Oh, parang kayo lahat, teka, sandali. Kami naman. So, that's what prompted us to create our own IP. So, along the way, after animation, we said, oh, since my partners are also, they love animation, they love games, talagang addicts sa games talaga itong mga to. So, we decided to also put up a game studio to complement the animation studio. And the goal pa rin is to create our own IP.
Congratulations, you're doing good.
Very good. Is that it? Any other questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anyways, you can always, casually approach our dear panel. How about a big hand for our panelists? So,